highlights coming up on the show. Rock of Ages. The band Pink Floyd is chronicled in a coffee table book. Touch of Class. A special painting course is offered on porcelain at the Meissen manufactory. Taste of Malta. We go on a culinary voyage to find out more about the island. Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Karen Helmstedt.
Hi there, and a warm welcome to our highlights edition. Well, they are legends in their own time, and I have to admit that one of the most spectacular concerts I ever saw was an open-air gig on a hot summer night by the British band Pink Floyd. They, of course, were famous for their elaborate live shows and with huge pigs flying through the air and planes. This one was certainly no exception. But getting a closer look at the band members themselves was never very easy. Well, now a collector's dream of photographs from their 40-year career has been published here in Germany.
Pink Floyd was one of the most successful bands in music history, with sales of more than 200 million records worldwide. Founded in Cambridge, England in 1964, Pink Floyd quickly became one of the most innovative and influential bands in rock history. That posed a challenge for the makers of the most comprehensive coffee table book about the group to date.
The special thing about this book is that it covers Pink Floyd's entire career, not just a portion of it. It starts off with the really early Pink Floyd, which was co-founded and greatly influenced by Syd Barrett. And in principle, it ends with the present. Syd Barrett died a little while back, and the last picture is of his grave. The group's great career, with these many great albums and concert tours, are all in the book.
One of the highlights in the band's history came in 1971 with their performance at the ruins of Pompeii in Italy. Pink Floyd and its music are legendary.
Clearly, a good part of that is due to the personalities in the band, and one in particular stands out, Syd Barrett. First of all, he's already dead, and second, he was only with Pink Floyd for 4 years. But I think that's what makes him a legend. And of course, there's the big concerts Pink Floyd put on, because they were one of the first bands to perform on a large scale, at really big events, with lots of sets. In a visually oriented world, that sticks out in people's minds.
Just like Another Brick in the Wall, their chart-topping hit from 1979.
We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
In the uber-genre rock, I think Pink Floyd were a very innovative band who really came out of this tiny musical hotbed called the UFO Club in London. They made psychedelic music which, with the help of drugs, created entirely new sounds, and that's much to their credit. And then they took the step towards doing mainstream music, and even there they made great records.
Following disputes about the creative direction of their music, the band members have largely gone their own ways since the mid-90s.
The interesting thing about illustrated books on bands or people we've known for decades is looking at the first page and then the last. Seeing these really thin young guys jumping around lightheartedly turn into old fogies torturing themselves on stage again, like at the reunion for Live 8. That's very reassuring to the reader, because they're getting just as old as we are. There's something nice about that.
I still enjoy making music and getting out and doing a few shows once in a while is good for the soul.
How I wish
The musicians themselves may be getting old, but thanks to their music, Pink Floyd will be forever young in the eyes of their fans.
Year after year, running over the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears.
Doesn't that take you back? Well, a feeling of eternal youth is something enjoyed by lovers of comic books, and proof of their popularity is the fact that so many successful films in recent years have been based on characters like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, etc. Interestingly enough, comic books and films are about the same age. The first comic book was published in New York in a magazine back in 1895, and at about the same time, the first film appeared over here in Europe. Well, right now in Karlsruhe, there's an exhibition about the ongoing relationship between comics and film. Euromaxx checked it out.
Iron Man is proving to be a big hit. Since it opened in May, the film version of the classic comic has already taken in €380 million at the box office. Film versions of popular heroes have been around for decades. Whether Tarzan, Barbarella or Spider-Man, popular cultural figures have always found their way onto the silver screen. And that's clearly shown at this exhibition on cinema and comics in Karlsruhe.
It's interesting to compare these media and to see how much our view of the world has been influenced by comics.
The show looks at 34 famous comic figures and their counterparts in film, displaying posters, props and original drawings. Films have made use of comics since the early 20th century. Starting in the 1930s, superheroes became a dominant force, from Batman to Superman to Barbarella. She first appeared in a comic in 1962, in the film of the same name 6 years later.
Den hat's erwischt.
Many a comic has been turned into film several times over. The cool cowboy Lucky Luke has been played by the Italian Terence Hill and by the German Till Schweiger. Hollywood especially loves to rework comics.
The stories are simple and they have very wide appeal. Films for all the family. That is what Hollywood is about, making mainstream films that everyone can enjoy.
Hollywood ist es eben, Mainstream-Filme zu machen, Filme zu machen, die jedem gefallen.
Some early attempts look rather silly nowadays. These days, many rely on stellar computer-generated visual effects.
Jetzt sieht sie's.
Lots of energy goes down well with the fans.
It's great when any comic becomes a film.
A good film is not dependent on the comic.
It has to have that comic book look.
There's a good crop of comic book films this season. The Incredible Hulk has just opened. The world premiere was 2 weeks ago. Batman will burst onto the screen in The Dark Knight later this summer, starring Christian Bale as the Caped Crusader. The film reportedly cost €95 million, but not all comic-based films are suitable for children.
There are bizarre films, or films based on comic books like Sin City or Wanted. They're extremely brutal, very rough.
Making a film based on a comic can be good for your career. This guy became a star as Conan the Barbarian. And now Arnold Schwarzenegger is the governor of California.
Well, no barbarians in our next piece, as we're making a bit of a culinary trip to the middle of the Mediterranean, to the island of Malta, located south of Italy. For over 150 years, until its independence in 1964, Malta was part of the British Empire, and the British influence still remains there. But luckily, the cuisine boasts a good dollop of Mediterranean sun and spice.
The bare, rocky landscape of Malta adds to the unique beauty of Europe's most southerly state. Most of the houses here are built from yellow sandstone, which gives off a different hue depending on the time of day. Close to the capital, Valletta, lies the village of Ormi. And it's here you'll find the Razed l'Antique. It used to be a farmhouse, but now, some 400 years after it was built, it serves as a cookery school. Under the direction of Rainer Mitzer, English students from all over the globe learn how to cook the Maltese way, using only the best ingredients.
I've been in Malta for 4 years now, and what I most appreciate about the local cuisine is the fresh produce. With the climate, fruit and vegetables really ripen well here.
Rainer Mitzer has meticulously researched Maltese cuisine and knows as much as the locals do, so he can confidently act as a culinary ambassador for the island. School is out for the day, so it's time for some taste testing.
And now you'll see where delicious Maltese bread comes from.
Mitzer is passionate about the island. He's been here 60 times over the past 4 years and has tried every possible permutation of the local cuisine. The German chef really loves the local sourdough bread. People on the island buy it fresh every day. Mitzer takes a look at how it's produced at the Maypole Bakery in Ormi. The traditional bread is called hobsa and contains nothing more than flour, water, salt and sourdough. Now it's time to visit Sam Cremona in Wardia. He's known locally as a kind of olive godfather and as a friend of Mitzer. Cremona has devoted himself to his olive trees since retirement and was one of the first in Malta to press olive oil.
The olive oil, the earlier you harvest the olives, the stronger the taste. Now we like that strong taste normally. We like that bitter taste. Pollination, you know, they are doing
Rainer Mitzer stays for a bite to eat. Sam and his wife Matt prepare a classic Maltese snack of bread, cold-pressed olive oil, all topped off with tomatoes, herbs and capers.
Sorry, Maltese capers are the best.
Afterwards, it's off to Mdina, the former capital of Malta. Rainer Mitzer likes to wander through the narrow back alleys of the medieval town. And when the culinary devotee wants to call it a day, he gets himself a special drink.
Now I'm going to have something really refreshing. It's the national drink here, called a kinny. It's made from bitter oranges and herbs. I hope you enjoyed this culinary trip around Malta. All the best. Bye-bye.
And from Malta to Meissen, which is a small town in the eastern part of Germany. And for centuries, its name and its crossed swords logo have been synonymous with the very finest porcelain. Quality and craftsmanship are the company's top priorities, especially the skill of their porcelain painters. And amazingly, you can even take a course at the factory in Meissen to learn how to paint on porcelain yourself.
A straight line, a curved line. The first exercise is on the first day of the course. €490 for professional instruction and a week of insider know-how. The crockery costs extra. Pieces from Dori Messeli, who's on the course for the 6th time, pursuing a passion for beauty and on a quest for inner peace.
Einfach für mich.
It does me good. I like it. It's just something I need to do.
Brauche das einfach für mich so.
Innumerable experiments in alchemy led Meissen in 1708 to the discovery of European porcelain. Since then, the elegant tableware and artistic figurines of this establishment have decorated living rooms all over the world. Even today, the traditions are being preserved and new forms developed, all of which can be seen in the company museum.
What made Meissen special, and makes it exceptional to this day, is the quality of the craftsmanship. And it's been cultivated by more than 300 years of continuity, with everything here being made by hand. You don't only see it in the porcelain, you can feel it when you hold it, that everything is exquisitely rendered, down to the tiniest detail.
Course participants come from Germany, France, Switzerland, Korea and Australia. Many combine the course with a holiday in Germany. This participant from Nice is an artist herself who came here and discovered the joys of porcelain painting.
Meissen is famous in Germany, and we wanted to show Germany to our French friends. And this is certainly the most beautiful part of Germany, culturally speaking. We were here in the museum, and I noticed one could take a course, and I thought, where could I take a course better than in Meissen? Not in Limoges, but here.
Producing the noble porcelain is complicated and carried out exclusively by hand. The core of the manufactory is the painting studio. Over 300 highly trained porcelain painters work here. The profession requires a 3.5-year apprenticeship, but one is only considered truly skilled after 10 years. Christian Schöppler has been at it for 45 years. He's the artistic director of the painting department.
It's amazing in this era of sophisticated technology that something like this continues. And the most valuable part of this manufactory, I believe, are the colleagues, the artisans, who pass on their craftsmanship from generation to generation, and each new generation contributing to new developments.
A degree of excellence that seems far off for the amateur artists on our course. But on the evening of the first day, impressive first results are visible on the plates and in the soul as well.
Painting porcelain is like meditation. You're fully concentrated on your plate, on your figures and your ideas. I feel that's the most beautiful meditation, better than yoga.
Dori Messali has also found some inner peace. She intends to spend the week decorating a coffee set with violets, just for herself, but with the best support imaginable.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's Euromaxx highlights. We hope you enjoyed them and look forward to seeing you back here next time. So until then, take good care and thanks for watching.